Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're tackling something pretty common for folks building cool stuff with n8n. It's that challenge of having these amazing automations, maybe even using fancy LLMs like DeepSeek or Llama, but they're stuck. They're just running on your local machine.
Right, they're trapped on localhost, which is fine for building, but, you can't really use them in the real world that way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You hit this wall where you realize, oh, wait, I can't share this workflow. I can't trigger it from my phone. And forget about integrating with like Telegram or Gmail or Stripe.
Yeah, those services absolutely need a public webhook URL, something with a real domain name, properly secured with HTTPS. Localhost just doesn't cut it for them. They have no way to send data back to your machine.
It really is like having this amazing tool locked away. You built this incredible thing, but it can't interact with anything outside your own computer. So the big question is, how do we, break it out? How do we get it online securely without needing a credit card?
That's the mission for today. And the core issue, it's worth understanding, is that most cloud services, Google, Stripe, you name it, they need that public identity. It's a security thing, fundamentally. They need to know who they're talking to and that the connection is safe.
Right. It's not just an arbitrary rule.
No, not at all. And sure, you could use n8n Cloud, and that gives you a subdomain automatically, which is great. But if you're self-hosting, getting your own domain, setting up DNS, handling SSL certificates, it can be a bit much, especially if you're just starting out or experimenting. And it costs money.
Okay, but you mentioned breaking out without the credit card. So is there a way to get that public secure domain for free? Is that actually a thing?
It absolutely is. And it's surprisingly straightforward once you know the trick. We're going to look at a tool called nrock. Think of it like a secure tunnel. It basically opens a direct encrypted path from the public internet straight to your n8n instance running locally.
A tunnel. Okay,
Yeah.
how does that work without needing like complex network configuration?
Well, that's the clever part. It creates an outbound connection from your machine to the ngrock cloud service. Since it's outbound, it usually just sails past firewalls and routers that block incoming connections. Then nrock gives you a unique public HTTPS domain, like a temporary web address, and forwards any traffic sent to that address through the tunnel right to your local n8n.
Okay, so ngrok handles the public-facing part and the secure connection.
Exactly. It gives you the public HTTPS domain and manages the encryption, all for free on their basic plan. It's kind of magic for local development and testing.
Right, because you can build and test things that need that public interaction, like webhooks, without actually deploying to a server yet.
Precisely. You get that production-like environment, but running right there on your laptop. No cloud server fees, no domain registration hassle.
Okay, I'm sold. Let's walk through how we actually set this up. We're assuming everyone listening already has n8n running locally using Docker, right?
Yeah, that's the baseline. Docker running any name container up. So first stop is nagrock.com. You'll need to sign up for a free account there. Simple enough. Just create an account.
Yep. Once you're logged into your nrock dashboard, it pretty much guides you. You'll see instructions to install the nrock tool itself onto your computer. It's usually just downloading a file and unzipping it, or maybe copying a command line instruction if you prefer that. Super quick.
Okay, nrock tool installed. Now, the potentially scary part, updating the n8n Docker container. We need to change its settings, but crucially, we don't want to lose all the workflows and credentials we've already set up. That would be a disaster.
Absolutely not, and we won't. This is where understanding Docker volumes, or maybe bind mounts, depending on how you set it up, is really important. See, your n8n data, the workflows, the credentials, execution logs, isn't stored in the container itself, hopefully. It's stored in a volume or a folder on your host machine that's linked to the container.
Right, so the data lives outside the container.
Exactly. So the process is you stop your current n8n container, then you remove it. But, and this is the key, when you launch the new n8n container, you tell Docker to use the exact same volume or bind mount path for the n8n data folder. So the new container just picks up the existing data from that same spot on my computer.
Precisely. It's like unplugging one device and plugging a new one into the same power outlet. The power source of your data remains untouched. All your hard work is safe.
Phew, okay. That's a relief. So stop old container, remove it, then launch a new one, reusing the data volume. What's different about launching the new container this time?
This time we add some specific environment variables to the Docker run command. These tell n8n how to operate with nrock. First, you might want n8n nodes include, same as before if you use community nodes. No change there needed, just make sure it's included if you use it.
Got it. What are the new ones?
The first really important new one is n8n editor base serial. This tells n8n what its main web address is. Instead of localhost, you'll go to your ngrok dashboard, find the static domain section for your region. They give you one free static domain. You'll claim one, copy that full HTTPS URL, gotta have the HTTPS data part, and paste that as the value for n8n editor base serial.
Okay, so that's the address I'll use in my browser to access n8n from anywhere.
Exactly. From your phone, from another computer, anywhere with internet, that's your new public front door.
Nice. What else?
Next, and equally vital, is n8n webhook URL. And here's the easy part. You set it to the exact same value as the n8n editor base URL.
The same ngrok URL. Why is that needed separately?
Because n8n needs to know what URL to give to external services when setting up webhooks. When you drag a Stripe trigger node or a Telegram trigger node onto your canvas, n8n automatically registers a webhook URL with that service. By setting n8n webhook URL to your public ngrok address, you're telling n8n, hey, when services need to ping you back with data, tell them to use this public address.
Ah, I see. So the editor URL is for me to access it, and the webhook URL is for other services to access it, but they point to the same place.
You got it. It ensures those real-time notifications from Stripe, Google Calendar, whatever, can actually reach your local n8n instance through that secure ngrok tunnel.
Makes sense. Is that all for the environment variables?
One more I strongly recommend for self-hosting, n8n default binary data mode. Set this one to file system.
File system. What does that do?
By default, n8n tries to handle binary data like images, PDFs, video files. It downloads or processes directly in your computer's RAM, which is fast, but if you're dealing with large files or lots of them, like email attachments or files from Dropbox, you can easily run out of memory and crash the n8n container.
Oh, okay. That sounds bad.
It can be. Setting it to file system tells n8n, hey, for these big binary blobs, just save them temporarily to the disk inside the container instead of hogging all the RAM. It makes your instance much more stable and performant, especially for file-heavy workflows. Highly recommended.
Good tip.
Yeah.
So recap, reuse the data volume, add n8n editor best role with the ngrok HTTPS domain, set n8n webhook URL to the same value, and add n8n default binary data mode file system.
Perfect. Once you run the new Docker run command with those variables, watch the container logs in your terminal. You should see messages indicating it's starting up, and pretty quickly it should display your public ngrok URL right there in the logs. That's a good sign.
Okay, containers running, logs look good. What's next? Should I test the ngrok URL now?
Before you hit the public URL, do a quick sanity check. Open your browser and go to localhost.55555 again, or whatever port you use for n8n. Log in. Just double check that all your workflows and credentials are still there. It confirms the volume mapping worked correctly.
Right, belt and braces. Check locally first. Okay, let's say that looks good. Now I try the ngrok URL.
Now you try the ngrok URL, and you might get a page saying something like tunnel offline or a connection error.
Oh. Why? I thought we set it up.
Almost. We told the n8n container about the ngrok URL, but we haven't actually started the ngrok tunnel itself from your host machine yet. And we need to authenticate it.
Authenticate?
Yeah. ngrok needs to know that you are the legitimate owner of that public domain it assigned. You need to link your local ngrok tool to your account. Back on the ngrok dashboard, there'll be an auth token section. Copy the command it gives you. It usually looks like ngrok config, add auth token, your token.
Okay, copy that command.
And run it in your terminal. Make sure you run it from the directory where you installed the ngrok tool, or ensure ngrok is in your system's path. This command saves your unique authentication token into a local configuration file, ngrok.iml, so your machine can prove its identity to the ngrok service.
Got it. Authenticate my machine with the token. Now are we ready?
Now we're ready for the final step, actually starting the tunnel. In your terminal, run the command on ngrok HTTP, your name endport. So if n8n runs on port 5555, it's bngrok HTTP 5555.
ngrok HTTP 5555. And what happens then?
Your terminal will clear and you'll see an ngrok status screen appear. It'll show your public HTTPS URL, the one you put in the environment variables, and indicate that it's now online, forwarding traffic to http://localhost.5555. Leave that terminal window running. That's the active tunnel.
Don't close that window. Okay.
Right. As long as that's running, your tunnel is active. Now, go try that public ngrok HTTPS URL in your browser again.
And this time?
This time, you should see your familiar n8n login screen load up, served securely over the internet.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty cool. So just like that, my local n8n is now live.
Live on the internet, accessible from anywhere via that secure ngrok URL.
So let's just pull this all together, we started with n8n basically locked in the basement on localhost. And now, using Docker volumes to keep our data safe and nrock with a few environment variables, we've essentially put it on the world stage.
That's a great way to put it. You've effectively created a secure public endpoint for your local n8n instance. And the key takeaways here are huge. You didn't need to buy a domain name.
Yep.
You didn't need to pay for a cloud server or hosting.
Didn't touch my wallet.
And most importantly, all your existing workflows, credentials, everything, it's all still there, completely intact.
Yeah, that data persistence part was crucial.
Absolutely. So now you can actually access your n8n editor from your phone or a tablet or a different computer. And more powerfully, those webhooks from services like Telegram, Stripe, Google Calendar, Typeform, whatever you use, they can now trigger your workflows in real time.
Because they have that public, secure ngrok URL to send their notifications to.
Exactly. Your automations can now react instantly to external events, just like they would on a fully hosted platform.
So it feels like you get, pretty much all the functional benefits of a paid hosted solution like n8n Cloud.
Functionally, yes. You
Yeah.
get the public access, the webhooks, the ability to run things properly.
But with, zero monthly cost because it's still running on your own machine. And you have full control.
That's the beauty of it. It's self-hosting done smart. You get the power, the flexibility, the control without the recurring expense. It really opens up what's possible for personal projects, testing, or even small-scale production use.
It really does change the game for developing and testing complex integrations locally.
Completely. That ability to securely expose a local service is just incredibly useful across the board, not just for NN, but for n8n, it solves that major local host limitation perfectly.
So thinking about that, now that you can connect your local n8n to pretty much any service out there that uses webhooks, what kind of automations or integrations that maybe seemed impossible or just too much hassle before because of the local host barrier are suddenly within reach?
That's the question, isn't it? What doors does this unlock for your specific needs and ideas? Maybe it's finally building that custom Telegram bot that reacts to external data or integrating directly with your e-commerce platform's order notifications. The possibilities really expand dramatically once you break free from a local-only execution.
It definitely invites some creative thinking. Go forth and automate, everyone. We're excited to imagine what you'll build with this unlocked potential.